Good afternoon, YouTube! Today on Angry Four-Cylinder Therapy, we are undoing a common mistake done to cars when it comes to installing an aftermarket stereo. Again, common theme. I always forget the camera until after I've started the project. I only soldered one wire, but I made the fatal mistake of I forgot to put the heat shrink tubing on, so I have to clip it, strip it, and resolder it after I put on the heat shrink tubing. So, I don't mind doing this because I've already got it properly repaired there, and it's going to be resoldered, covered in liquid tape and all that good stuff anyways. So, I'll just have to make an extra solder connection there. No biggie. No use crying over spilled milk, as they always say. So, get in there. Now, another trick that I use for stripping wire when I don't have a nice fancy smancy wire stripper is I will use the serrated part of a knife and I will press the wire in and then kind of roll it around, and that gives a nice little cut that should be able to be pulled out. So, if you're following from yesterday, you want to spread the wires out, spread the individual strands out, like so. You want to put them together, kind of like folding your hands together, having your fingers interlocked. Ooh, we almost made the mistake again. So I'm going to pause and get me some heat shrink tubing on there before I pull a Britney Spears and do it again. For those of you that don't know me too well, I can be a total smartass. I have very punny jokes that borderline classic dad jokes. But then again, who doesn't love classic dad jokes? So a little bit of, get out of the way, little bit of liquid tape on this. Little dab will do ya. Try and get that excess drip out of there. We're going to just let that sit gently. And have me an extra long piece of heat shrink tubing for that section, since I oopsed. And some of you might be wondering, if this was already connected, why am I going through the trouble of redoing it all soldered? Well, as a wise man once said, if you ain't got time to do it right, you got time to do it over again. And anything worth doing is worth doing poorly until you get it right. Now, I'm probably going to have two pieces on here because there's a bunch of tape way back in there that I just can't get to. So, quick snip. This is all going to get liquid tape shut to be a nice waterproof connection throughout. And I'm going to have to come back through later with a heat shrink gun and heat shrink all of this once it's soldered in place. God, this factory tape on these harnesses can just be outright annoying at times. All this is going to get taped up properly once I'm done. But in the meantime, it's just got to all hang loose. Alright, so let's get our heat shrink tubing prepped and ready so I don't have to undo a bunch of work that I've done. So without looking at the wiring diagram, I believe it is safe to assume that all of the multicolor strands with a black stripe are in fact the negative strands. So, under that logic, would be safe to assume, oh, hey, would you look at that? It looks like Honda may have in fact run all their negatives on one side. Or not. I don't know. I may have to actually consult the wiring diagram to figure that one out, because I am a little bit OCD about it and I do want to have them done up correctly. So, please stand by.